Jasmine mentioned you, by the way.
Me?
Oh yeah, you.
Whoa.
She mentioned you sitting at her bar. So it's like,
I think Kirk was going down like the Titanic, slowly. He hit that iceberg. He looked to the left and Mendeecees. And Mendeecees was like, boy, ain't got nothing to do with that.
I didn't know who she was. So somebody had to say, that's Kirk's baby mother. And I never went back. We never had 2 words.
Can I ask you one question? Where the hell is your ring?
Don't do Kirk.
I lost it.
Oh my God.
The truth is that Kirk, Frost, and Mies have always been cool, but something suddenly broke, and now it's straight up all of this began when M learned of some dubious activities involving Kendra Robinson, and let's just say that he wasn't going to overlook it. Rumor has it that Kirk Man's confrontation of Kirk was nothing short of combustible, and it may have had something to do with placing Kendra in a scenario that could destroy her marriage to young Jay. Kirk was attempting to argue his way out of it while stuttering and appearing really guilty, but Mendeecees wasn't buying it.
Children would be walking around here with a sibling. That's not thinking it's their cousin.
It is. That's what we're gonna tell them. What are you talking about?
You sound dumb.
As everyone is aware of Kirk Frost's past, he consistently finds himself at the center of drama, whether it be side babies, adultery scandals, or financial dealings that seem suspicious. Kirk always ends up in trouble, and this time it's more complicated than ever because it involves more than just Kirk skulking around. We're talking about Kendra Robinson, a powerful lawyer who has established a solid reputation in the legal community. The street is talking, and people are saying that this was much more than just business meetings. Kirk and Rashida have had their share of problems, but this situation with Kendra may be the one that pushes things over the edge. Kendra is a woman with influential connections and a whole career on the line, but now her name is being dragged into some really shady business. However, it turns out that these meetings were a bit too private, a bit too frequent, and a bit too shady. Rumor has it that Kirk was trying to move some things around business-wise and needed Kendra's legal expertise to make it happen. Now, this might have been fine if it had only been contracts and paperwork, but rumors are circulating in Atlanta that Kirk was using these meetings to get a little too close to KRA and young Jay. Wasn't feeling it because, let's face it, this wouldn't be the first time Kirk crossed the line when it came to combining business and pleasure. When Jay learned how much time his wife was spending with Kirk, he began to question her. Kendra, being the professional, is now denied any shady business, but it was Mies who wasn't buying it. What you don't realize is that Kendra wasn't just handling legal matters for Kirk. She was also working with NES, and initially, it wasn't a big deal. She works as a lawyer, and that's her job. But when I learned that she was doing the same kind of legal work for Kirk, well, that's when things got ugly. I felt taken advantage of because, in his mind, Kendra was on his side, taking care of some personal legal matters. But now he's hearing that she's deeply involved with Kirk as well, which is a problem. Apparently, Kirk and I had a private meeting to discuss the situation, but let's just say that it didn't end with a handshake. Business, but Mies wasn't buying it, because here's the thing, there were receipts. Someone somewhere had evidence of these private meetings between Kirk and Kendra, and whatever was in those messages, emails, or phone calls, it had Mendeecees heated, and that's when things took a turn.
So the truth is that you have been trying to smash. I have the proof.
She said she got the proof.
Now, as everyone knows, secrets don't stay hidden for long in the world of love and hip-hop. Just when Kirk thought he was getting away with whatever he was doing with KRA, someone dropped a voicemail that was leaked to the public. And let's just say that Kirk was talking way too recklessly to Kendra. This type of conversation is what can end friendships and marriages overnight. That made it obvious that their relationship might not have been solely business-related. The tone and language used by Kirk were giving away far more than legalese. And the odd part was that it wasn't even Kendra or Jock that revealed it. You know who leaked it? Yes, the same Rashida who has supported Kirk through all the scandals, lies, and adultery rumors. After years of standing up for him, it appears that she has had enough, and instead of going to Kirk first, she went right to the one person she knew wouldn't tolerate this. By going straight to Mendeecees, she set the stage for a confrontation. And when Man received that voicemail, let's just say it was on. This wasn't a late-night text. Rashida is smart, and she knows Kirk too well. If she had confronted him directly, he would have simply found a way to get out of it by smooth talking. It wasn't a heated phone call. Mendeecees didn't send a warning message or tell someone to spread the word. Instead, he pulled up and went straight to Kirk's lounge. As you may know, Kirk owns Frost Bistro, where he likes to hang out and think he's untouchable. However, that day, witnesses claimed that I entered with the sole purpose of checking Kirk in front of everyone, and Kirk, well, you already know. Mendeecees wasn't playing games from the moment he walked in. He pressed Kirk like a fresh suit and didn't need any long speeches. Instead, he got right to the point. "What's this voicemail? Kirk and Kirk?" he stammered, looking around and sweating. Have you ever seen a man get caught red-handed and try to act confident? That was Kirk, taken out of context, and that he and Kendra were only dealing with legal matters. But Mendeecees wasn't buying it, because let's face it, there was business talk, and then whatever Kirk was doing, security began to move in. However, I made it very clear that if Kirk was doing anything other than business with Kendra, it was going to be a problem, and immediately the situation went from messy to explosive.
What you mean? What's up?
What do you mean what I mean? How the you get around Mama D? What the y'all mean
That's
that?
none of your business.
You know her reputation with young
I
women,
don't
and she
know,
was
and I
known to be a
don't
madam,
care.
okay? So I'm just asking, what's the relationship?
Now, this is where things go from messy to dangerous, because you would think that Kirk would back off after I pulled over him and put him on notice, perhaps hide away, or stop making things worse. But instead, Kirk had the audacity to meet up with Kendra once more. And we're not talking about a quick let's clear the air kind of thing. No, meeting Kirk wasn't stopped from moving, carelessly continuing to act as if no one was looking, and guess who discovered it? Young Jock. But the truth is that Jock didn't hear about it from Kendra or Kirk. Instead, he heard it from Mendeecees, who, let's face it, values respect. When he noticed that Kirk continued to meet with Kendra after, he made sure to put Jock up on the game for everything that happened, and when Jock learned, he lost it. Jock may be a fool sometimes, but when it comes to his wife, it's a completely different story. He already knew that Kendra had engaged in some dubious business dealings, but now that Kirk was still poking around, it appeared that something much more serious was happening. And that was a major issue for Jack. Imagine Kirk relaxing, thinking that the storm is over. Perhaps he believed that Mendeecees had already dealt with the worst of it, and he could now move as he pleased. But then suddenly he's walking. This young Jock is prepared for battle. Normally, Jocks are cool, laid back, and amusing, but this time, this was an entirely different Jock. He marched right up to Kirk, got in his face, and said, "So you just out here meeting with my wife behind my back now?" Kirk tried to act foolish and hit the Jock with the "it's not even like that" bro routine, but the Jock wasn't buying it. He reached into his pocket, took out his phone, and said, "Oh, that's not how it is." Then, as everyone watched Juk hit play, you all saw that voicemail, the same one Rashida had, the same one that made Mrs. furious, the same one that revealed Kirk talking irresponsibly to Kendra. And Kirk's face changed to every possible shade of guilt as it played.
The deal on the text messages. Is that what we got going on? Because the fact that I'm even sitting here, even listening to this is beneath me. And I'm sick and tired of this. Straight up, what is up?
Let's take a moment to discuss Rashida. She has supported KK through business dealings that always seem to involve some sort of problem, infidelity scandals, and secret babies. But this night, well, she entered a whole new realm of drama. Imagine the situation. Kirk is standing there looking guilty after Jack played that voicemail. Everyone in the lounge is watching to see what will happen next. But when Rashida enters, she immediately senses that something is wrong because, let's face it, she has known Kirk long enough to recognize his guilty face. When she glances at Kirk and then at Juk, she quickly connects the dots. So we're not sure what happened, precisely what was said at the time. But according to sources, Rashida didn't even raise her voice. Instead, she simply stared at Kirk and said, "We'll talk about this later" kind of energy. Trust me, that's even more frightening than yelling because if Rashid is finally done being the supportive wife, you already know that Kirk's reaction to this whole mess will be terrible. Has been pretending to be herself for years. It's not possible that she only now recognizes Kirk for who he truly is. The real question now is Rashida presently done with Kirk after supporting him for years? Is Kendra's career at risk due to this situation? What about Mendeecees? Mendeecees is defending Jock more than the Jock is defending himself. This is crazy. What do you guys think? Was Kirk actually handling business? Or is this another class Frost scandal? Or did Kendra just make the biggest mistake of all? Remember, Mendeecees doesn't play, and he already pressed Kirk once. Now that Juk and Rashida are involved, Kirk might be in much more danger than he even realizes. Her career, and more importantly, who do you believe actually leaked that voicemail? Let's face it, someone had a purpose. Please share your thoughts in the comments section, as I'm sure you all have different opinions.